I don't think much has changed on my point. I think it's just, didn't have a pre-season, obviously, when I was getting up to speed, got injured. And then it was just sort of going to catch up when we come back from the World Cup, like just as a team, we weren't really on it. And then obviously as a forward who sort of like thrives with service, I think it was just difficult for me just to get going again. So I always knew that if I had a full pre-season behind me that, do you know what I mean, I would be functioning at a different level. Fortunately enough, do you know what I mean, that's come into fruition. But for me, it's just been like, even if things aren't going well, the tide always turns, so you just got to keep your head down, keep going to work. Yeah, I think I've got enough games behind me to know that like it ebbs and flows, and I've seen it before and stuff, so it's more about just taking stock of what I know I'm about. The moment you start doubting yourself and this, that and the other, then you're in trouble straight away. So as I said, I'm not in the place of feeling sorry for myself and not saying why me. I'd rather just sort of roll my sleeves up and just try and go. Performances I was dishing out weren't good enough. Like that was then. Now I'm just focused on what I'm doing now for the team. I'm not really worried about that so much. I think that's always a possibility. Even when players are playing well or whatever it is, like you can always move on any time in this game. So as I said, for me it was just about coming back, making sure that I'd done what I needed to do in the summer to make sure I was going to be at a decent fitness level to be able to have a good pre-season and sort of give myself the best chance to start the season. And whatever conversations that we have when we come back, they're just good honest conversations between me and the gaffer. Like, he's an honest fella, so am I. He likes to be upfront, as do I. So like, I think that's where between us wires won't get crossed. So do you know what I mean? There's a mutual respect there, and then we can work together more. Yeah, I think here is such like a mixed max of levels. So like you have some teams that could be playing obviously in the champ in England, and then other teams that are probably around the League 2, League 1 level. So yeah, he needs to figure out the best he can do with like sort of the weapons that he's got at his disposal, which are obviously not big clubs, so we understand that. We might need to sort of like work a bit harder than others in terms of like managing things with the budget and the type of players you can get in. But that's where it's down to the gaffer and his staff and then the boys to sort of come together, and I'd say it's a great group of lads in there, and a pleasure to come to it every day. So that's half the battle sometimes. So yeah, it's always obviously nice to get recognition, but for me, I'm more concerned about the people in the dressing room. Like, they know my character, I get to work with them every day, and they see how I am away from football and stuff. Like what people get to see in a 90-minute spell on a match day, that doesn't define who you are. So although it's lovely and I appreciate it, it's not something that I'm going to get
carried away.
Yeah, exactly that. Do you know what I mean? It's better to stay level and just keep trying to turn up performances and do what I can for the boys and the changes.
Well,
how big does confidence play? I think as a striker, if you're scoring goals, obviously you feel good. But for me, I don't really rely on one good game to sort of determine who I am. As I said, I think I'm quite a confident person anyway. So I just go out and be myself. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're gonna get the better of somebody. Sometimes they're gonna get the better of you. That's just part of the game. I just like competing, going out there, working for the boys. And every season you change, you know what I mean? Obviously I'm getting older, but I think my game type, I'm quite fortunate that nothing's going to change too much with me, do you know what I mean? So with that, I'm quite fortunate. So for me, it's more about the understanding of the game, and it's being able to use my experience in certain situations to get the better of my opponent in them 1v1 situations. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like, I think that's the beautiful thing about football. It's purely opinion based. What somebody thinks of you today is not what they're going to necessarily think of you tomorrow. So yeah, I think when you're scoring goals or you're winning games, everyone loves you. When you're losing and the striker not scoring, you're the villain, right? And that's just like, part of the position, I suppose.